paranormal, the unexplained, the unknown. Welcome to Things Mysterious. I'm your host, RUDYONTHEGO. Today I bring you the two most horrific ghost encounters revealed. Let's get started. You might remember SABIA L. She documented her life living what she felt to be with a poltergeist that eventually forced her to move out of her apartment. But it never stops there, does it? Before we get too far ahead, though, let's start from the beginning. Back in her old home, SABIA L began experiencing things that made her hesitantly appear behind every corner. But whatever is haunting her home seems to be pretty happy letting us know where it is. Watch closely.
What the fuck is that? Oh my god.
Something is lurking in the kitchen, trying to lure her inside. The light switch frantically flickers on and off, clearly freaking her out until she courageously sprints right into the chaos, only to show us an empty kitchen with her drawers and cupboards wide open. If you remember from the start, the cupboards were all closed. Did you spot any jump cuts? I didn't either. Even after going frame by frame while she kept the camera locked in the kitchen's entrance. Creepy, isn't it? After this, she backs away breathlessly. The room is engulfed in darkness once more, and it looks like someone couldn't stay hidden back in the shadows. Is that the culprit behind all the chaos? We know from some of her comments that this kind of activity was already pushing her to save money to move out. But what else could have tormented SABIA L to this extreme? Well, the more we watch, the more we understand why she chose to leave.
Stil. Het is een creepy als keukentje. Kijk, dat bedoel ik dus. Dat is dat licht. Fucking. Er is hier dus, dit is dus het lichtknopje. Deze deur is gewoon dicht. Er is hier gewoon echt helemaal niemand. Zie je zo'n ding? Kijk.
But no matter how quickly or nimbly she sprints into the room, there is never anyone there. The fact that she keeps the camera locked to the paranormal hotspots and shows us the area around, it's awesome as to the fact that she remains sane enough to continue recording her hellish home. Sure, it seems like everything she lingers over with the camera comes to life, but does that really give us enough reason to call it a fake before watching more videos? Or is there an entity that wants us to know of its presence or whatever it wants? It's certainly making a mess.
Gaat er ook al vandoor. Oh. Is dit allemaal?
More activity happens in the apartment, slowly bringing her to her breaking point, until she witnesses something more frightening.
Vorige keer was daar die... Ik wil schaduw, iets... Nou, hier hebben we die... gekke dingetje. Dicht. Oh, jeetje. Oh, wat is dit, ja?
It looks like someone is fidgeting with the curtains before opening them. This entity is relishing in the fear that it's striking into the heart of SABIA L and her viewers. And after that, she catches something so unexpected that we can only imagine how far she jumped out of her skin.
Dicht. Jezus. What the fuck was dat, ja? Wat de...
Well, at least it was a bottle and not a knife. Her courage here is endless, as no matter how terrified she is, she always scopes out the whole area. The description of this video shows how much of a toll her apartment is taking on her as she describes her wishes to move out and escape her living nightmare. She advertised a GoFundMe page to help with moving expenses, as the paranormal activity has worn her down so much that she has to resort to sleeping elsewhere. And we can understand why the footage from this video was filmed slightly differently. Rather than walking around and recording, she has left the camera overnight on a wide shot of the living room and the kitchen doorway, and she captured something so terrifying. This was the last draw. On the 12th of September, SABIA L packed up her stuff and moved into a new residence. She posted an optimistic final video entitled "Last Video Haunted Apartment in the Netherlands." No more poltergeist activity for me. The clip shows the apartment all packed up, with no items being flung across the room for once. When she moves into her new place, everything seems fine. She felt like she had finally released herself from the chains of her previous apartment. But just like any other story, it didn't end there.
Dat licht knipperde weer. Nou, dat maakt het nieuwe huis. Verdorie. Helemaal klaar mee.
Back to its old ways. You can hear the tendrils of dread creeping up into her throat, seizing her vocal cords as all she can do is stammer, desperately trying to record her nightmare once again, and what she ends up seeing will probably do the same to you.
Oh. Oh. Ik durf echt niet. Donder op, ik ga eruit.
It seems to be more active than it was in the old apartment. Could the spirit be attached to an item she took with her on the move? Comments have been telling her to move again and leave her belongings just in case. But she's only just moved in. For once, we hope that there will be no more videos for her sanity's sake. But the videos kept pouring out. She posted 2 terrifying videos of night vision doorbell camera footage. Have a look for yourself. Every ornament or object she has laying around her living room gets thrown around. Some of her items are dragged across the floor for good measure as well. Take a look. This poltergeist seems to be working on the beautiful floor of the room and is trying to break a few things while it's at it. Could this be the spirit trying to break through into our realm? Or could it be an actor lurking in the shadows for a good shot? Her paranormal investigation skills are some of the best that I have seen, and these hauntings are not over for her. YouTuber YAMA uploaded a terrifying sequence of clips that should teach you to always be suspicious of super discounted properties. It all started with the need to find a new place to live. After getting notified by his landlord that his house needed some renovation work, he started searching the market when he hit the jackpot. Or so he thought. He found a really cheap 42-year-old property, but the whole place had to be renovated, though not for the reasons you might like to think. The previous owner died within the walls of the house, which really put a damper on the amazing price. But he couldn't pass it up. It was such a bargain. And honestly, we can't blame him, can we? However, there's just one small problem. The water in the bathroom just won't turn on. No matter how many times he tries to get it fixed, the problem comes back soon after. We can't shake the fact that the bathroom is exactly where the previous owner died. Coincidence? Maybe. Maybe not. After witnessing the door opening on its own and hearing some strange noises at night coming from that area of the house, he decides to set up a camera inside the bathroom, and turns out there could well be something lurking within those walls. While the bumps and bangs on the first clip could be easily faked off if he were to knock on the wall from the other side, a fishline string attached to the hairbrush or let it fall from the vibrations of the bangs, we still decided to continue exploring his channel to spot any mistakes, such as video editing masks or jump cuts in the footage. However, even after going frame by frame, there seems to be no visible strings or signs of fakery anywhere. It's getting harder to debunk his footage. I could come up with theories on how the items are moved with strings. The creepy-ass voice plays on top of the footage. Or the clock is a part of a well-done software masking technique, but without actually spotting any mistakes or signs. To prove these claims, we might as well assume that the freaking place is disturbingly haunted. And when we look at the next clip, the latter starts to become more plausible. After hearing the aggressive knocking on the door behind him, he quickly pans the camera with no jump cuts and steps into the room to prove that there is no one inside. And surely a string wouldn't be able to slide that door closed. But maybe you know another way this could be done. Let me know. But whether it's real or fake, the dude decides to do a little more digging and finds a gory shrine near his home. These shrines were used as a protection from grudge-bearing spirits who experienced cruel deaths and widely believed in Japanese culture to cause natural disasters. This shrine in particular is built on top of a prior battlefield from the Sengoku period. It was most likely built for the soldiers who were brutally murdered during the war. Could this ancient spiritual belief be tied at all to what he's experiencing in his house? In this next clip, we get another dose of bone-chilling footage he decides to film with the bathroom door open to see if there are any changes in the weird activity. And it just gets creepier. The banging doesn't seem to be getting any quieter, but some commentators seem to believe the loud noises could be coming from the room directly above the bathroom. Perhaps YAMA could be stomping around and shouting to create some spooky content. We quickly learn that he wouldn't be able to do it though, because there is no room above the bathroom. After this, YAMA Q attempts to find some more links between the history of the area and the activity in his house northeast from his new residence. He finds a dead water well, which doesn't make things look any better for him in Japanese culture. Come on. Which translates to demon gates are always found in the northeast direction of a city. He then decides to travel in different directions around his house to see what else he can find. To the southwest of the house, there is a park with an ancient burial mound or a coffin that houses the coffins of the many ancient ruling classes in Japan. There is a lot of spiritual belief in Japan, and a lot of history seems to surround his new residence. Could this be bigger than just one spirit? In the next clip, the events that take place lead him to sprint down to the bathroom window, and that's when he captures something bone-chilling. Take a look. There is clearly someone knocking from inside that room, but there's no one to be seen. He then scuttles back into the bathroom, and the second he opens the door, the banging stops. Almost like something was waiting for him to interact with it. But no matter how spooky it gets, he remains extremely skeptical and attempts to put it all down to the issues into the piping. The water hammer phenomenon could well be a possibility, considering the noise water makes when valves suddenly close and can be extremely loud. Can't help but think about the convenient timing of the bangs, though. The way it stops when he opens the door and all the weird movements he recorded and shown in the past, surely piping issues wouldn't toss bottles and incense sticks off the side. They also don't make grisly wailing noises that echo through the house. If you listen carefully, it sounds like it's coming from directly in front of the camera. He even went as far as attaching an external microphone to the camera so we could get a better idea of the direction where the sound is coming from. As this carries on, he decides enough is enough. But he might have made a big mistake.
Haha.
His equipment looks a little out of place, but has definitely picked up on something. Apparently this toy picks up on noise and repeats it back to you. And when he holds it down to the road, it seems to repeat back a long, distorted, agonizing wail. As soon as he figures out the exact place where the sound was coming from, he quickly tried hitting the unseen source of the noise, just like it was suggested by one of his commenters. But it clearly didn't work because in this next clip, we can still see him trying a different approach.
声が聞こえてます。熱い。
As weird and funny as it all sounds, there is something that ties the story together. An ancient trial was used in Japanese courts centuries ago called Gracie, a trial where your innocence was determined by the gods after the way you handled submerging your hands in boiling water. If you came out unscorched, you were innocent. If you were burned, well, let's just say terrible things would happen. Perhaps the boiling water hitting the supposedly spirit shocked it into silence because of its tragic past. The area where YAMA resides is unknown, but is clearly built heavily upon old rituals. Many traces of food to money have been found nearby. A ritual where a shoulder blade of a sag is heated to create cracks and foresee the future. For his new residence clearly isn't a stranger to spiritual beings or practices, especially considering that there is an ancient tomb almost directly in front of its house. Is he being haunted by the ghostly apparition of the house's previous owner? Or is he surrounded by thousands upon thousands of tortured souls not yet able to rest in their graves? I want to thank you for watching Things Mysterious. I'll catch you on the next episode. And remember, do sleep cozy.